morning, St. Lucia. Thank you again for waking up with us. I'm your host, Chayla Mendez, and of course, you're watching This Morning. And as always, on our pursuit to bring you interesting people amongst our midst, I have Scratch Master here with us. Some of you, or most of you, may know him, and a few may not. So if you're not today, we are going to bring you up in the know with him. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. A pleasure to be on your morning show. Yep.
Well, I'm really excited that we got the chance to interview you today, and we really want to get to know you better. So, for those of you who may know him, we're going to delve in a little bit more to get to know Scratch Master as a DJ. But first, I think it's only fitting we get to know your origins. So, where exactly are you from?
That's a good question. My story is kind of funny. It's kind of tied up. I'm originally from Trinidad, born in Trinidad, lived in Grenada, lived in St. Vincent, lived in Barbados, and now I'm back in Grenada for a bit. So I've been pretty much all over the place. I mean, I was at Hot 97 in St. Vincent, then fortunate enough to start up and assist with Slam 101 in Barbados, which I know a lot of people know about. And now I'm in Grenada at Power 95. So it's pretty interesting.
All right, so a real mix up, a melting pot of cultures there.
All over the place. All over the place.
Great. So then, how did you get into DJing? Because, even here in the Caribbean, it's only now picking up, but it's not your traditional profession that's still, so widely acceptable. So how did you get into it?
Well, you see, the thing about it is it's interesting you said it's not a traditional profession, which probably a few years ago I would say was true, but now more than ever, DJs are proving to be pretty much important as bands per se, and the role of the DJ is a pretty much important one. I I basically started off. Well, I used to work in the bank. When I left school, I used to work in the bank, and my dad was a DJ. Not any big time thing, small house party scene. He had turntables home. I used to mess with his records, get buffeted a couple times, but I decided music was what I wanted to do. And I made a promise to myself when I left the bank, because I left the bank to do music full time, because I was doing it part time. I was on radio and working in the bank, but that was kind of stressful. And I said I wanted to learn as much as I could about the art form if I'm going to pursue this thing full time. And back then, it wasn't looked at as seriously. You know, the DJ was still the one that would put at the back of the stage and that kind of thing. But fortunately for me, I made some wise decisions, and it paid off. And they're no longer upset with me for leaving the bank, you know. And I just like that now DJs are looked upon, you know, in a more serious manner. You know, now you could actually have a DJ headlining a party, as opposed to before it was a band or, you know, or a stage show, you know. And even for stage shows, you could have DJs headlining there. So it is a pretty important profession. And you're seeing guys now like, say, David Guetta, and Tiesto and these guys, and Diplo, who is pretty popular from Major Lazer, touring the world, performing for stadiums. And they're not a band, they're DJs. So it is an interesting time for DJs in the world, I should say.
Great. And for a lot of our local DJs watching today, and everybody feels like they're an at-home DJ too. So anybody looking just to master that craft, in a nutshell, what would be the do's and don'ts that you would share?
The biggest don't, I would say, don't think you know it all, because you don't. I don't know it all either. It's still a learning process, right? Another thing I would suggest, if there's a DJ that you like, and I have to say a good DJ, right? Copy everything from them at home, and then eventually make it into your own, right? That I did that. You know, there were guys that I looked up to, you know, from the Chinese Laundries to the Just Jaces and so on. Back then you had cassettes and so on, and I listened to these guys. And those were the ones that were like who I looked up to. And as with anything, you copy, you emulate, and then eventually you turn it into your own style, So always try to follow what is good in the industry, right? The good DJs, and I have to stress on the good ones, because you could go and copy the bad stuff and you ain't gonna be any better, right? But once you do that, I mean, that's one way to look at it, especially if you don't have someone guiding you to show you the way, right? Because not everybody's going to have that, especially those people, the young DJs at home, you have your little setup and thing and you want to do your thing. So that's one way, effective way of allowing yourself to get better fast.
Great. So, St. Lucia, you heard it from Scratch Master. Any tips that you need there, of course, so that you can enhance your craft. Now, look out for him because he is actually a judge for the Heineken Green Synergy Competition semis.
Playing as well.
Oh, okay. So I stand corrected. He's judging and he's going to be playing. So that's another reason why you need to come out. Semis are on the 18th. Finals are on the 25th at Pigeon Island. So make sure you come out. And, of course, you're watching this morning. But just before we go, you're going to see why he earned his name, Scratch Master. Check it out.
I am Scotty.P. I taught him all that he knows. This is Scratch Master, my student. I am very proud of this individual here. Okay, I have been nurturing him from the time he was a little tot like this high, and to see him coming to St. Lucia now and having this wonderful workshop with those up-and-coming DJs, it warms my heart greatly.
Scotty, I hope you advance to Trini and Vinci and Grenada with him.
It's a good thing to finish.
You mean that's how you all know this? Back in 2016? What is this, 1993?
Hello, St. Lucia. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. You're watching This Morning here on DBS. I'm your host, Chayla Mendez, and we have Gideon Augustine of Island Tech here with us, and we're going to be talking some tech today. And our theme, I think, is going to be all about the importance of routine maintenance, correct? On your personal PC. So, Gideon, go ahead and take it away. That's your expertise, not mine.
That's your expertise?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, St. Lucia. How are you doing? You're going to talk about PC maintenance and how to keep your PC laptop healthy, whether you have a Mac or Windows-based computer. And just a few general things you need to know just to keep it healthy. And first things first, you need to keep all your software programs updated. Whether you have Office or other software programs you have already installed, keep them regularly updated. Most of these software get regularly updated either monthly, weekly. In terms of Microsoft, I know they have a monthly update. Also keep your operating system updated as well, properly updated, whether you're running Mac OS or Windows, from Windows XP to Windows 10. You shouldn't really be running XP right now because Microsoft no longer supports XP, so you should upgrade as soon as possible. Also, you need to uninstall or delete any unwanted programs or data files on your machine. They tend to take up hard drive space and also tend to have your PC running a little slower than it normally would. Also disable some unwanted programs that from your startups. When your PC boots up, it boots up a lot faster and has less programs to load with it. You also need, when you're done, you can also run antivirus, update your antivirus as well, and run a full scan to remove viruses, malware, and all other unwanted pieces of software. When you've done all that and it's nice and clean, then you can run a nice backup, because you don't want to back up your data before you run an antivirus, because you're going to be backing up infected files. So you back up afterwards. I recommend a weekly backup, but if you have a lot of activity on your machine, you can do daily backups as well. You can back up either online or for external device, whether USB stick or external hard drive. I personally recommend the hard drive versus the USB stick. The USB stick tends to get damaged very quickly, and you lose all your data instantly. So I recommend the hard drive, external hard drive. There are computer stores in St. Lucia or online. They're reasonably priced now because the cost of hardware storage is really dropping over the last couple of years. So it's relatively cheap to keep your data safe, because you don't want to be running your PC for your work or for your personal use and it crashes and you have no backup and you lose all your data, like some people I know. And I'm sure they can relate to you exactly the experiences with that. Right, Chilla?
Well, actually, I'm so happy Gideon mentioned that, because I have a very good friend, and recently he experienced I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Sheila.
Okay, so I have a really good friend, and this is a true story. Recently, he experienced similar. So with his laptop, he wasn't backing up, number one, and did not conduct routine maintenance. And, you know, last week he turned on the computer, and it was probably just maybe 20 minutes before actually using it. So he put it on again, and it came on, but nothing came on the screen. And pretty much that's how that story unfolded. He was a little frantic because, of course, none of his information was backed up. And he was wondering, you know, how he could take it off. But luckily, he was able to get off his information before the damage actually got worse. So at least in this case, he was able to retrieve it. But after hearing that story, it actually made me realize why it's so important to back up information as well as the maintenance, because, you know, I'm not the best at, you know, backing up my information, because like my friend, I have not backed up. So I will look into doing that for sure. But, you know, every time I see even the antivirus updates come up, I just ignore these things. To me, I'm just too busy to do it. But there is an importance to it, because when that one day comes that it just doesn't come on again, you're going to regret it. You're going to lose all your 1,000,001 things that you really need. And it's not as difficult, but, you know, if you're somebody like me who doesn't have the time to do it, or just not the super best number one person at, you know, organizing your stuff, then you can have friends like Gideon come and, you know, do a little touch up with your work. But I had one quick question for you though. A lot of people seem to think having things on your desktop slows down your overall laptop or PC performance. So is that actually true or not?
If you have just items and files on your desktop, that doesn't necessarily affect your PC performance. What affects the performance is actually the programs running at the same time. You normally see icons close to your clock on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Those list of icons will actually indicate to you and give you a fair idea of what's running at the same time on your machine. So if that's area it's chock full of icons, you know, you have a lot of programs running, and that would affect your PC performance.
Okay.
And if you also, I'd like to just add in here that if you have no time to really maintain your PC regularly, you can also need to contact your certified professional IT technician or consultant, and I'm sure they'll be happy to do that for you.
Yeah, it's true. So, you know, if you don't have the time to do it, you know, then pay the experts, find them, and have them help you out. So make sure, listen, now's the time to do an analysis of yourself and see if you are one, so that you don't become a victim and lose everything forever and regret it. So don't wait till it's too late, and practice these simple tips. And of course, right here with us, Gideon and Island Tech, of course, we're keeping you and all your information up to date and in the know. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back.